What's going on, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? How y'all feeling today? We back. We back in this thing like we left something. Feeling good. It's another new vid Monday. I hope y'all been anticipating. But look, I'm Daryl.
And I'm Dominique. And welcome to No Longer Single. That's No Longer Single spelled with a K. K-N-O-W, longer single. Okay, so like always, let's go ahead and get right into the question. Don't want the video to be too long. So the question is, I've been single for a long time. The only needs I've had to cater to were my own. How do you care for other people and not be selfish now that I'm in a relationship?
That's a good question. Well, to me, just to clarify the question, to me it sounds like someone is asking, they've been single for a minute, and now they're in a relationship, I guess, where they're committed.
Right.
They're in a committed relationship. So to me, that means they have someone else's feelings, someone else's well-being to consider in their daily decisions. I think that's something that kind of comes, to me, I think that comes natural as a relationship progresses. Because I know when I first started out meeting somebody, when me and her first started dating, I continued to do whatever I feel like I needed to be doing at that particular time or at that particular moment. I did my thing. I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. When we both were available, we linked up. I really didn't consider her what she felt about what I was doing, or how she felt about what I was doing, or how I was doing it. Until time progressed and our relationship grew and developed. And then I just had to begin to prioritize. She had to become a priority to me. I'm a busy guy. I got a lot of stuff going on. But she had to become a priority. Priority meaning I couldn't just go out and do whatever I wanted to when I wanted to at that stage. I had to consider, does she need me to do something before I go do this, X, Y, and Z, or how is she going to feel about me doing this? See, it's more than just about time. It's about feelings. It's about perception. How is this going to make Dominique look? How is this going to make our relationship look if I go do X, Y, or Z? So it's a lot of different angles that comes with it, but at the end of the day, it's about prioritizing this person in your life. And once you put them in the right priority, I think all those angles kind of fall into order. And that's just, I know it did for me. That was my natural experience.
Well, I would say, I think to some people it doesn't come natural, right? So there's some people who have been single for a long time, for whatever the case may be, you know. You just didn't want to be in a relationship, had to find the right person, whatever. But I think that during that time when you're single, you do grow a sense of what's the word I'm trying to say?
Self-sufficiency,
Self-centeredness, yeah. So you do build up that tolerance for self-centeredness. And I think that's something that when you do get into a relationship, it's something that you have to be intentional with trying to break. Because now you're, like he said, you're considering somebody else now that's in your life. So you do have to change those habits that you had. So I will tell you, for me, I suffer with the same thing for that. The question that was asked, I suffer from the same thing. You know, I had been by myself for a minute. You know, I had gotten comfortable with doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, not worried about what anybody else was going to think, feel, or say about it. So when we met, for me, I had to be very intentional. So meaning that, okay, now I got this person in my life. Yes, I want to spend time with them, but I also have other things going on around me that I'm used to doing. So for me, what I did personally, I had to set reminders for myself. I didn't want to forget about, you know, that I had in my life now because I'm so used to being by myself. And it may sound crazy, like, oh, how you gonna forget your boo? Like, that's your boo, you've been wanting one. But honestly, when you are used to doing something for so long, that's just it becomes a routine. So you have to try to break yourself out of that routine of it only being you. So if you gotta set reminders in your phone that say, hey, text such and such, tell them that you think about them, tell them that you care, contact them, see what they doing that night. Like, if you have to do that, then do that. Because what that's gonna do over time is it's gonna become, you know, a habit for you. It's gonna become a habit. So now, while you're building your relationship, like Daryl said, you know, you can continue to grow on each step and continue to, you know, be able to include that person and it be a normal part of your life now. So, I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, girl. Like, you know, when you're single, man, you just forget about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I completely agree with the points that you made. I want to clarify, go back to it happening naturally. When I mean it happening naturally, I mean that thought is going to naturally happen. You always gonna have to be in relationships or work. There's no other way to get around it. A successful, healthy relationship, you're always gonna have to put in intentional work to make it healthy. But the natural part the natural progression that I'm speaking of is you're going to naturally begin to think about it. Now whether you actually put something into place to, like Dominique said, she may have had to put in reminders to make sure that she actually did it. But the natural progression as your relationship grows, you're gonna begin to think, man, what is Dominique doing while I'm going to do this? Or what do I need to handle before I go with Dominique before I go handle this? It's a natural progression that you're gonna all of a sudden begin to think. And another thing we had to do, we had to realize what our partner or our significant other needs. Because some people might not need that much attention. It might be some people's spouses or significant other may not need that much attention. Some people require less attention than others. So you may be able to do a lot of things that you were doing when you were single without having too much thought about it. It all goes back to depending on what your partner needs and what you're willing to give. And at the end of the day, it's all about, we hear it all the time, it's all about compromise. It's all about making sure that you're able to meet the needs of your partner. And that's how relationships grow, that's how they blossom, and that's how they become healthy and fulfilling.
One piece of advice I'll give is don't beat yourself up at the beginning of a relationship because you feel like you're not doing everything that you could be doing. Like he said, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. So just enjoy the moment. Enjoy your new partner. Enjoy the things that you guys are doing together, and enjoy the process of growing and getting to know each other, and knowing, you know, how he wants to be loved and how you want to be loved, and how you guys can do that for each other effectively. So don't beat yourself up. It's new. Have fun. Like, don't be so worried about like all the extra stuff. Like, just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Enjoy the process. Enjoy it. It's a relationship. You're supposed to be fulfilling. It's supposed to make you happy. All that other good stuff. Yes, it's going to be work, but when the work is done correctly, trust me, it's not going to feel like work. You're going to enjoy it. It's not going to feel forced. Just because you're intentional about something doesn't mean you're forcing it. That's two different things. Yeah. To be intentional about something means you just plan to do it and you do it. That doesn't mean you're forcing it. So at the end of the day, don't be so scared of the word work. And when it comes to relationships, don't be so scared of the word compromise or be intentional. Because those things, they don't take the fulfillment, they don't take the joy, they don't take the fun out of it. It's just something that's part of it. When it's done correctly, look, you're going to be happy and you're going to love the end result.
Yeah. So, just bask in it. Just bask in it,
girl. Enjoy the
girl.
process. Anytime that you bask in your new boo. Look, feel good about your new boo. Feel good about it. Enjoy it. Anytime that it's getting to the point where you're feeling like you're stressing and you're probably doing too much at that point in time. Take a step back, relax, let it flow, let it come natural. Trust me, you have time. You have time. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships. We too pressed to make it something serious. Let it flow, man. Yeah. Don't be so pressed. Don't rush into things, and you'll enjoy the process a lot more that way.
Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. You know, y'all can always email us if you have any follow-up questions. But again, y'all know we gotta put this plug in. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, leave us comments below. Like, we want to hear from you guys. We've been getting an influx of comments lately on our YouTube page, so we want to thank everybody who's been commenting.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. It just gives us, a little boost of energy to keep going. So again, y'all, if y'all have any questions, let us know.
Let us know. And before we go, I got to give my boy Roy Ferrier and the movement, Young Black and Talented, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on Instagram, Facebook, all that. Roy, I see you, baby. I see you. With that being said, y'all be good, man. We'll holler at y'all next Monday, man. We out here.
Bye.